Welcome back to the show, everybody. Listen to these headlines today. First of all, we're going to talk about the cryptocurrency market cap, which is screaming this morning out the gate. We're going to talk about XRP price holding its own, and we're going to keep moving up is what the technical analyst tells us. We're going to get into that as well. And guess who else we're going to hear from today? Brian Brooks says cryptocurrency shouldn't be called cryptocurrencies. He's going to straighten it out, and he's also going to tell us the moment we're in right now, what is actually happening. And I think you're going to love it. Banco Santander Ripple partner and bonds on a blockchain? Say it isn't so. BIS Ripple? Come on in. Polysign, Cowan Investment Group? Yeah, we're going to talk about it and so much more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove and everything that we're talking about here today. Look at that cryptocurrency market cap this morning. Just look at it. It's glorious. I see blue. $2.926 trillion market cap this morning. We may be up only 2.02%. But we're almost at $3 trillion market cap, and that means we got fresh blood in the scene, and we love it. Right now, Bitcoin is screaming $67,500 plus. Ethereum is screaming at $4,700 plus, and Cardano at $228, Solana at $245, holding its own, and XRP at $1.24. We're going to get into that before we leave today. Don't go anywhere. Right now, the price range is $1.2324 on the low side and $128.99 on the high side. I do know and can tell you right now, we stay above that 122, 123 support line there, and we are going to be pushing further up. But how far? We'll find out. Numbers are brought to you by Private Investing Made Simple. Now, this is link2.com. I tell you, this is your opportunity to get private equity before these companies make their way to go public. And Ripple is one of them. And so is Uphold. And so is Kraken. And these are the companies that exist behind the technology. And I love the opportunity that they provide for all of us. I tell you all, it's about to change forever. This is a picture right here of how we are connected globally via undersea fiber cables. And all of it's going to change because of crypto and blockchain. And here is the perfect person to tell you exactly how and what it looks like the moment that we're in. This is Brian Brooks with Tim Mayopoulos, and they have an incredible conversation here about the moment we are in, which is why I believe he's going to reaffirm why I tell you about link2.com and these companies behind the technology. And you know how I have said often here on this channel, and stay with me here. You know how I have said often on this channel that cryptos, you shouldn't look at cryptocurrency projects that you're invested in as cryptos. Replace the word cryptocurrency with payment network. Because if your project has use case utility, that's exactly what it means it is. A payment network. A new payment network that's not centralized, yada. You know the rest of the deal. Let's have Brian Brooks break down this for all of us, because this is an extremely brilliant guy, and he says it better than I ever could.
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I always tell audiences that the hardest thing to understand about cryptocurrencies is the nomenclature. We should never have named them cryptocurrency because people's belief is, because of the word currency, that somehow these are supposed to be things that you can spend on your morning coffee. And if you can't, if the Starbucks won't accept your Bitcoin or your Ethereum tokens or whatever, that's somehow a failure of the project.
Well
so
said.
Let's just ask everybody within our earshot to just get rid of that concept, clear your mind of the idea that these are currencies. That's not what they're about at all. What they're more like, what they're sort of analogous to, are internet stocks, as I say. And so if you go back to the 90s and you think about the idea that there were a bunch of companies competing to be the web browser of choice. There was Mosaic and Netscape and AltaVista and Yahoo, and later there was Google.
And if I could, to that analogy, there are all these different companies that exist out here, right? And you're placing bets on the ones that you think will win and have the opportunity to have the best growth in that period. Let's keep listening, because he's explaining that the internet.com era is upon us in the crypto era, which is right now.
And you could buy stock in any of those companies, right? Eventually, only one or two of them survived, and really only one survived at scale. But in the early days, they were all trying to do the same thing. And if you bought stock in any one of those companies, you were betting that that company was going to be the dominant owner of what we now call the internet, right? At least the World Wide Web, the publicly accessible internet. Very similar to what cryptocurrencies are about today. Today, if you buy an ETH token, the native token of the Ethereum blockchain, you're buying that because you believe that the Ethereum network is probably going to win in the race to build a new network for financial applications.
Notwithstanding the fact that they got a unique advantage from the SEC, which has given them the clarity that no other network in the space has gotten, allowing billions of dollars worth of projects to be launched off of that network. Keep listening.
Okay, Ethereum is the largest environment where app developers are going to build cool, what you might think of as banking apps. We call them decentralized finance or DeFi apps. If you buy the Solana token, you're betting that Solana is going to beat Ethereum as the app developer's dream because it's way faster and it is cheaper to access for developers than Ethereum is. And, I don't know which one of those is going to win, or maybe one of a different type will win. But in that sense, the tokens you're buying represent the adoption rate of the underlying network and your prediction about who's going to win, just like if you went out and you bought Apple stock versus Microsoft stock. Right? That represents a different bet on the future of computational activity in America and the world. And depending on who wins, the value of that stock goes up. So it's very similar to that. And if you start thinking about it like that, the whole enterprise becomes a little bit clearer. Now, it's true that these things have financial value, and that's where people get hung up with the idea of it's speculative in some way. But again, it's speculative in the same way that tech equity is speculative. You don't know, 10 years ago whether Nokia or Motorola or Apple was going to win the smartphone race.
And there it is right there. And that's the tech equity that I'm talking about every day when I tell you about Link2 and private investing made simple at link2.com. The Ripple, the Uphold, the Kraken. Which ones of these are going to win, right? Oh, I mean, to me, I think some of these choices are quite obvious, but everyone has to make up their own mind. But to me, he just surmised exactly the moment we are in. You can see these cryptocurrencies more as internet stocks, and I believe the ones that'll truly win are the ones that are effective payment networks, giving that / internet stock actual use case, solving a real problem. So I hope that helps right there. Let's go ahead and take a look at this because, understanding the point he made about Ethereum brings us to the unique advantage that Ethereum has received. And I have tagged Senator Jim Mathias, former senator of Maryland, and Chris Van Hollen, current senator here in Maryland, and Chuck Grassley from the Whistleblower Group. And I'm asking all of you, I have pinned this to the top of my profile on Twitter, to please politely retweet these 3 individuals. No one else for the moment. Let's stay very, very hyper-focused on this, and let's retweet to these individuals. We need to get just a couple people here in government talking directly to us so we can level set for them and get them to understand exactly what is at stake here. Because look, we're quickly moving towards some decisions here. I want to remind you the SEC succeeds in forcing Ripple to produce recordings of its internal meetings. Not exactly what we wanted to hear there, but we do know it is what we expected. Jeremy Hogan and the legal team there tells us this order to go against Ripple. Remember, an order like this might give the SEC some bullets for its gun, and vice versa when Ripple wins. But the next big order is on the SEC's motion to strike the fair notice defense. That is the bazooka. And it really, really is, because then it takes us here. And he tells us again, seems like in New York, they let discovery play out and then take on the dispositive motions that puts us into January for a ruling. I've said it, and I don't have to be a lawyer to say it. You know, it's like the fair notice defense is very, very critical when it comes to the SEC having jurisdictional power over this new emerging digital asset class. And it's obvious that Gary Gensler and his SEC wants it, right? Very, very obvious. So that moment of expert discovery ending, I believe it's January 14th, takes us into the next thing, which is hearing these dispositive motions, and the next one being the fair notice defense. You know, it will be interesting to see if we see a settlement prior to that actual ruling on that motion, so the SEC doesn't risk losing that particular battle of the case. Now, with that being said, we also don't know what Ripple is going to have to cough up from those internal meetings, videos, and recordings that could provide dry powder for the SEC as well. And if they get enough evidence out of those meetings, it may be an instance where we find out that they feel better about this fair notice defense not getting through for Ripple. So we have a lot to pay attention to in a very, very short amount of time. Now let's talk about some positive things out here. And what we know is that we are a leader in crypto. We issued the first bond on blockchain. Who are they talking about? They're talking about Banco Santander and Anna Bhutan from Banco Santander, and we do know that Banco Santander is a Ripple partner. It does not say in this article that they are using Ripple or the XRP ledger for this task. So it could be Ethereum, it could be something else, but what I do know is that Banco Santander is a Ripple partner, and what else I know is that having bonds launched on blockchain are enormously important because bonds are the backbone to the monetary system. Period. Full stop. And if they're happening already, that is a huge moment for me to understand that this transition to this new digital era is well underway. And it should be. And it's exciting to know that it is. And you know what? We get more evidence of that even here. This is Cowen Investment Group invested $25 million in Polysign as a part of the relationship with Polysign. And here we know that the CEO of Cowen told us just 2 weeks ago, I believe it was, that in 2022, we were going to see big, massive institutional money move into Polysign. Well, Polysign created by David Schwartz and Arthur Brito from Ripple. This gets more interesting by the day, how all of this is starting to move its way. The puzzle pieces are really, really coming together now. By the way, Cowen Investment Group is not exactly a corner store. $962.7 million, just under $1 trillion of assets under management. Now let's take a look at this, because this ought to clear up any confusion here too. This is from XRP Captain 590 here as a reminder of Bank of International Settlements. And we've covered this when we found the report here, but take a look at this because this is really showing the layout of cross-border payments. And you have to remember, Brad Garlinghouse said we're going to be bigger than Amazon. And we're not just talking about moving books here, but in that report, new forms of cross-border payments, cross-currency settlement, we know they list right here, alternative connectivity services, Ripple Connect, which is really RippleNet, right? It's unbelievable. We're sitting right in the mix here. The use of crypto assets as a bridge currency, Ripple liquidity, right here. So if you're thinking, oh, that's Ripple, but they didn't say XRP, they just referenced the bridge currency and the liquidity pool that could be provided from it, which obviously means they don't have to pre-fund accounts, right? Huge, huge, huge moment. Bank of International Settlements is the central bank of central banks. So in case you were wondering, that's what we're looking at. This is really great. I mean, the motion is moving forward here. Yes, we are. If you focus in the U.S., yes, we are very much behind here, but it is the largest economy of the world. I think it has been a part of their strategy in the U.S. to allow a lot of these other countries and regions of the world to push out here, establish a framework so they could kind of see a litmus test of what works and what doesn't. And when the U.S. does finally make their move and release a real true framework for this space, I believe it will be completely vetted, as best that it can be. And I also believe the entire space will be off to the races, and there will be no putting the toothpaste back in the bottle, kind of where we are now, right? This is Coins Kid right here, who's going to give us a look here. And he does tell us, even if you don't hear it in this clip, that 123 is going to be a good support for us, and we are above that now. We hope to hold above that, and if we do, we're going to start looking down the barrel of 143 and beyond. Take a listen.
Taking out this high, like I've reminded you so many times, this event coming to this impulsive wave here at 455 does take out this high. So would that give it more power and more FOMO to actually go beyond the 1618 and get overextended? So I don't know if I've done it with you yet. I might have done. I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to look at some of the fib targets. So right now we've got the impulsive wave break, which is on that white line. Okay, so you're coming upstairs beautifully. Look, you're holding support. You're looking for continuation here for XRP. You're breaking out of a huge horizontal, bullish, bullish, bullish. You've got a whopping horizontal just there, basically a bull pennant. If you look at it on the weekly, boom, 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 your breakout target is up here to this local high, yeah? But with that, once you break that high, you're going to push up through these fib targets, and this is your 1618. Now, right now, it could get beyond to these other fib targets. So we have the 2 up here at 759, which is a little bit of confluence to this yellow line, which is the 1414, okay? Yes, that is the 1414. Let me just show you again, remind you for those that don't know. This is how you get the fib. So the bear market low to the bull market high, and that gives you the target. So just there, that yellow line at $14, sorry, is the 1414. This yellow line here at $8.33, $8.63, round about that sort of area, is the 1.272. So you can see that if we do start to go parabolic here and rinse repeat this sort of mania phase, which I do believe is coming, okay, we are taking out this high. So this is my minimal target, 455. People say, oh, well, it's got to do better than 455. Well, yeah, this is the latter part of a bull run. This is the mania stage, the euphoria stage that we're anticipating, okay? If we do get that, then yes, you will go beyond the 455. That's my minimal impulsive wave target, which is what each one of these has done so far. Okay, came up to the 1618, retraced the 050, and right now breaking out, minimal target 455, overextension. You can start looking at some of these fib targets getting met. Okay, you got the 2 roundabout, which is the 1.272 as confluence, and then obviously if we do start to get a little bit beyond here in this impulsive break in this parabolic stage of the bull market, then yeah, you could get to 2.272 minimal at 10.96, and with that the overshoot to the 1414, you know, which is $13 plus. Who knows? Watch this space. It's going to be a fantastic journey. It has been.
It is going to be a fantastic journey, and that's going to do it for us right there. Head on a swivel. It's crypto. You never know. Make sure you check all the links out in the description box and the comment section. Ladies and gentlemen, November 15th is going to be a huge day. I have got massive news coming from I Trust Capital, the best place to get a crypto IRA. The only thing better than getting a crypto is getting tax-free crypto, and you could do that with I Trust Capital. November 15th. Wait for it. It's going to be massive. Another one, keep an eye out for Casino Coin. Massive news coming from them. And I believe they've even got an announcement today, possibly, but keep a lookout. All of this stuff is in play. I'll catch all of you on the next one.